Hey guys, it's the Sweeties again, here on May the 6th. The name of that was Rise by Alpert. That's some smooth music right there. I like that. I like that tune. Good pick, sweetie. I think today, what we're going to talk about today is the 1619 Project.
Yeah, and why they seem to be so damn frantic about it. They're pissed. They don't want to hear it. They don't want it. So we just trying to understand, like everybody else, what's the big deal. So if somebody that's like a sign or a cue or whatever you say, however you want to call it. If they that upset about it, then it must got some meat to it or some teeth. However you want to say it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, they don't want the truth. You know what? If they had to look at the truth.
If they told it right the first time.
If they told it right the first time, we would not be still in the condition that black lives are in at this time.
And white lives, the world wouldn't be in that condition because if they did admitted to what happened. Instead of playing off it wasn't nothing, that means their ass didn't grow when we didn't get to grow. It was holding us back and holding themselves.
Okay, so let's look at some of the repercussions to the lies.
Oh, we're fucked, and so are they.
Okay, but if you look first of all, if you go all the way back to 1619 when the first slave ship arrived.
That's what they said. That's what they say.
They don't want to pay reparations. You have kept us enslaved from 1619. 1619. Blood. We built this. Black people built it on their backs.
Okay, hold on a minute. But the Indians were here first. They were
already
screwing them over, and they lumped us in the same thing. So if you even looked at that, that means shit was going on before 1619, right?
We're talking about the 1619 Project. And okay. Yes, I'm sure that was going on prior to 1619. But the fact that they don't want even a history book, they don't want their children.
Unless they're writing it. They're writing it.
They know what they're comfortable with.
They know what they're comfortable with. And the ones that's doing that, they're 70, 80 years old. Their grandparents and all that shit, they wrote that. They have the curriculum that we have to go by.
Yeah. And you know what?
They had control of the books and control
I keep saying this in every episode of every podcast that we do. I truly believe in the march and all I do with every fiber in my being. But we have got to start screaming. Enough is enough. I mean, okay.
That's what marching is, screaming. They saying enough is enough.
No, don't be a smart ass. That's
not
what I'm talking about. What I'm saying
that's what they
is,
call, when you say
okay, well, no,
to me, that's what.
Okay, well, we need to. I'm telling you, we have got to stop catering to these white people. They know we know it, and that's why. This is the only way to shut us down is to don't let that 1619 history book come out. You don't want our children to know the truth. No, it's not. You don't want our children to know the truth. You don't want your own nasty children to know the truth. And I take that back. Your children are not nasty.
Yeah, you don't.
But if you continue to teach them a lie,
because they probably stop doing it if they get that notion in them when they're
that's
young
right.
and they're little.
They grow up to be what?
That's what they've been doing. I don't want to do that, and they won't do it.
Okay, but if they continue to teach them the way they're teaching them...
They'll just turn into what they do.
Okay, and that is what? It begins with an N.
Trash?
What the heck? I said begins with an N.
I just said trash.
And I said nasty. They'll be nasty.
Yeah. And trust me, I heard exactly what she said, y'all. And it begins with an N. I said trash. That shit don't... Yeah, I heard what she said. I'm not stupid or illiterate. I heard exactly
Stop.
what
They
she
know
said.
you ain't stupid or illiterate.
I'm just saying. She said it begins with an N.
Yeah, because you want to say trash and I want to say nasty.
Trash.
Well, because I want to say nasty and you want to say trash. But anyway, stop.
Nasty trash.
There it is. They do. Imagine that. Imagine the little girl or the little boy who learns that
they
did
breaks,
the things that they did.
Yeah, that breaks.
They don't want. They don't want this. You know what? Okay. This is the Sweeties. No sugar added wine session. So let's be honest. They don't want their children to know that their white men sexually assaulted black men. They don't want their children to.
That would be their great
Okay.
and all
Okay. You sexually had sex with black men to try and demasculinate them. You cut off their private parts. You don't want your kids to know that. You don't want your kids to know that you sexually raped black women whenever it was convenient, making babies and then still throwing them out in the field and making them clean. You don't want your children to know that you hung people.
Because they would be like, hold on a minute. We got to stop this shit. I don't want to be a part of nothing like that.
That's
and
right.
Then their shit can't keep going.
I think they need to know the truth.
They damn right. Yes, they do. And this is the beginning. Like, if we let this in, you know they panicking. I tell you they panicking.
And we need to make them panic even more.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And you know what
if
happens
they're
when
panicking
they panic?
over this shit, is what I'm saying. If they don't want that, because what they're thinking is, if this gets in there, there's no telling what else they're going to pull out their hat. They're going to be just like us. But see, we just pulling out the truth. What about the Indians get to talk? Well, but what if they start pulling out their
I'm sorry.
If the white people start looking, oh, well, okay. And so we're going to go back a little bit further and look back a little bit further. Because they still don't want to say that Christopher Columbus didn't find shit. It was people already here. You can't find shit. That's like somebody
shit
coming.
Wasn't lost.
That's
what
like
the
somebody
hell?
coming in. That's like somebody coming in my damn front door telling me, "Hey, look what I done found, bitch! If you don't get out of here, what you found was some goddamn
some problems."
That's what the hell you found.
So let's be honest. No sugar added. You see these white people who are going to be upset about it when they start jumping and shooting and doing all kinds.
I'm telling you. I'm look on my phone so you can see. And I'm sorry, guys. That white woman crying. But if you wanted to, you can go on. I seen it off Trevor Noah's shit. He was, where they're in there and the white woman is crying. She's saying, just because I don't want the 1619 project, that book introduced and taught to my child in school doesn't make me a racist. It make you something.
It makes you fucking racist because you don't want the truth.
You want to continue to be blind, but look.
That's right.
You didn't learn the truth. So wouldn't you want your child to learn the truth?
No.
Should, but you should.
No, they don't want their child.
And this is what they say. This is what's better for our children. And that's why I say I think them bitches know. This is what's best for us down the road.
I already told you the repercussions for that. If they really start delving into the 1619 project, that history book.
Some more stuff will pop out. And that means, so that's like the 1619, and once everybody done ate that up, they gonna like, we need another one with some more to go even deeper into what that's gonna open up another course. And that's in high school. And in, I don't know, it might be in elementary or at least. I bet you they would put that book in middle school.
So you know what? This is one of my issues with this is they want to argue about this history book. The Japanese were given reparations. That should be in
should also be in there in that book.
The Japanese were given reparations because of so you actually admitted to what you have done to them.
When they built the internment camps
now you turn right around just a couple of days ago and you pass a bill for Asian hate crime bill. Where's our hate crime bill?
You ain't getting there.
And that's why I say. That's why I say. No, we need. I agree with March and everything, but no, we need to start. Screw all that dumb shit.
Seems like they own the team.
It seems like that's right.
We like, man, come on.
No, where's our hate crime bill? We've been doing this for how long?
Yeah,
and you mad at us because we say Black Lives Matter, and then you go, all lives matter. No, blue lives matter. No, we all matter. No, black lives matter.
Just like everybody else's.
Now you're telling me white lives matter more. You're telling me Asian lives matter more.
When you said your little spiel right there, when I said I was Black Lives Matter, just like everybody else's, because they're just trying to say everybody matter except black people.
Right now, exactly.
But look, and that ain't just in the United States. Think about France. You can't get them bitches no pass. Think about Britain. Can't get them bitches no pass. Canada. You can't give them bitches no pass. The few black people over there that's in that live like got stationed over in Japan and China and all them other places and shit like that, they catch hell over yonder. I mean, they might have might not have went back into service and decided to stay because they created a family there. It's hard as shit on them over there. They ain't got no.
I think
they
it's
ain't
really
got
sad.
no bills and none of that
I think
shit
it's
for them
really
over there.
sad. But you know what? Right here in the United States, we're suffering right here.
Yes.
And I think it sucks that in every other country you're still acting as if black lives are just worthless pieces of shit. And
they consider the damn the native Indians over here blacker, apparently, than us.
They treat them horribly.
They got them on, as they call, reservations. As Sweetie said the other day, they wouldn't even let them get no damn stimulus. And the United States government, federal government, even though they're getting money and whatever, they have control of their money.
Let's be honest.
Won't even give it to them.
Let's be honest.
I seen on a clip on YouTube the place that they got them for where they have their apartments or little subdivision and built is all half built. Water system.
They don't even have water. They don't have running water. They don't even have toilet facilities.
Yeah, trailers and shit like that. And some of them got leases.
How do you call yourself human?
And you're doing that to
And
them.
you wonder why I say
Blood
white
suckers.
people are animals.
Blood suckers.
Animals.
Blood suckers.
Animals.
Whatever, blood sucker, bat, or vampire, or something. Damn mosquitoes.
No, you know
big
what?
Ass
Serious.
mosquitoes.
Big
Big ass
I
mosquitoes.
smashed those.
Big ass mosquitoes.
No, but anyway, I just, I am of the mind that black people come on. We have got to stick together and start ignoring these white people. Somehow we have got to start making.
How you gonna say that when Mariah gonna be up in here?
I'm not. No. Now, and I've said that multiple times. I have white people in my family that are nice, decent white people. Everybody's not fucked up.
But
You know who you're going up against.
The system.
It's not about Mariah. Mariah has mixed family, and loves her family. So every white person is not nasty. I have plenty of white people in my family who are not.
It seems to be the majority.
Well, and those that are white that are not like that, you know that.
And if you're hearing this, and
they should know
that means we're not talking to you.
They should know that.
You know your people. You know their team.
And you know who you are, and you know how you truly feel about who you love. So everybody's not like that.
With no, you just. Some of them, they done got used to people being in a certain place, and they don't mind. They like them like there, like us in certain places, and they don't want to see us move. Just like we were saying the other day.
And we can't stand for that anymore.
Some of your own family don't like that.
I have one of those. I'm sorry.
Some of your own family don't like that.
I know you hate when I say that, but anyway, we can't stand for that anymore.
We're tired of it.
We cannot stand for that anymore, and that's why we have this podcast.
And
because we are normal black people. We don't have money.
And that's why you see all the shit that's happening right now. You're watching the beginning of the end of something.
Yes, and we need to make sure it's the end of them holding us down. No more. No more. I don't want to watch that shit no more. I'm tired of it. I can get started screaming pretty loudly. And it needs to be me and millions of other black people that just say, we're not doing this anymore. We need to stick together. I've said it before. You know, you got all these Hispanic little communities where you got their butcher, and they got their grocery, and they got their daycare, and they got a whole city block. It's not a whole lot, but it's theirs though.
Or
The Asians,
or at least they renting it.
well, what is theirs? And then you have the Asians, same thing. Same thing. They have their own. I'm not going in there getting their food and their rice and all that other stuff. That's not, I don't live like that. But for me not to have my own people, my own block, where I want to go in and I want to get my hair care supplies and I want to get my food and see the black butcher and all, those are things we're supposed to have.
But just like this, Jackie said, what did Jackie tell you? I go to Walmart and do stuff like this. But I don't
buy my meat from anybody but my own people.
And there's other certain stuff that the
Hispanic community,
they don't do it.
She only buys her meat.
She's Puerto Rican with and married to a Mexican guy.
Yep.
Now that ain't knocking nothing, but you see how tight they keep that shit. But I you know what? I'd be starving like Marvin. If I said, you know what, I'll go into Walmart and I'll get this. But
I gotta get my meat from
I'm gonna get my meat from where? From who? Black. Where?
I'm just gonna go to Mr. Otis's house and give me a piece of meat.
I know what. I'm like, well, what I can do is I can go out there and hunt, but who in the hell want to hunt all the time?
Like every day I gotta go out there and get me something to eat.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Go ahead and throw some of these rocks and see if you knock down some of these squirrels. Sweetie don't eat that shit.
Hell no.
Shit. Damn.
I told you.
Squirrel is like a steak to me, y'all. I eat them up like chicken. I eat them up. Turtle, squirrel.
My Julie said, "Oh my God, our squirrels are so quiet since you've been here."
yeah. They know I'm out. They know Ezra up and Bo up in here. Oh, I'm sorry. Delete that. But they know I'm up here in Rhode Island. They some chunky little monkeys. I knocked their ass out.
Just never mind you. We have to do something. Play that nasty.
Oh, the guy that was defending.
Yeah, and listen
and
how
saying, and this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. Everything that's wrong with that, but you will hear them.
Yeah, they don't want their kids to know the truth. It'll change everything.
Here he is. Here he is right here. So moving forward, do you think that we're going to see? Shut up, dude. Let me take it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to all their little claims.
Our democracy's founding ideals were false when they were written. That's what it says.
And what do you think is the basic goal of this? So I've suggested that this is basically the latest in a long line of historical revisionist attempts to cast the American founding and the darkest possible light, going all the way back to Charles Beard, suggesting that the American founders were mainly concerned with protecting their own property interests and moving forward through the pseudo-history of Howard Zinn. The fact that this is now becoming not just a counter-narrative to, I suppose, counter the jingoistic or whitewashed history of the United States, but an actual counter-history that is now being taught as the establishment history is pretty dangerous.
Well, it is, and I think specifically the 1619 Project has a few, let's call it targets of its own, apart from the overall idea. Let's get rid of the idea of the United States as an experiment in liberty, dedicated to a proposition that all men are created equal. First thing that the 1619 Project really would like to do is to teach school children, because that's really what's aimed at, is that capitalism is a form of totalitarianism. That's the one essay, the second essay in the 1619 Project says this pretty plainly. Slavery is the model for modern American entrepreneurial capitalism. Second goal, we should pay reparations for slavery. They don't say this in the 1619 Project, but the lead editor of the 1619 Project, Nicole Hannah-Jones, has said this in other places. As though to
Okay, I had to pause that. And the reason I had to pause that was because, yep, that's all you're concerned with is reparations. We have worked from 1619, been enslaved, to put money in your pockets, have made you wealthy. They have boats. They have cars. They have homes. They have land. They have all of these things that we do not have because we were oppressed from 1619. Why in the hell shouldn't you pay reparations? And that's why I said you paid reparations for the Japanese. A measly $20,000 a person. You owe us so much more than that, and you're afraid that we're coming for your asses. And you know what? I hope that happens before I die.
Lincoln's formula that every drop of blood drawn by the lash had not been paid for by one drawn by the sword in the Civil War. Third thing, history, according to the 1619 Project, is nothing more than a web of narratives and interpretations. That means any connection of history to historical fact can be conveniently ignored.
So some of the errors that are involved in the 1619 Project are pretty egregious. Nicole Hannah-Jones's prize-winning essay included the astounding claim that the American Revolution was fought on behalf of the preservation of slavery, which is astounding for a couple of reasons that I've mentioned. One, the original draft of the Declaration of Independence actually included a clause blaming King George for bringing slavery to the American colonies. And number two, the British Empire did not actually abolish slavery in its colonies until 1833. So I guess the American colonists must have been fighting back 50 years early against the British Empire attempting to abolish slavery.
Well, as many American historians, including the Dean of Historians of the American Revolution, Gordon Wood, have pointed out, there is not a shred of evidence that the American revolutionaries ever said that they were fighting to protect slavery. In fact, if you look at the way the British conducted the war, they were slaveholders too, and they manipulated slaves, they manipulated black people to their ends, and when the American Revolution was over, they took the slaves who had fled to the British Army for some kind of protection and either sold them to the West Indies or exiled them to colonies like Nova Scotia and Sierra Leone. So the idea that somehow the American Revolution is a march against black freedom, what does that put the British as? Well, no, I'm sorry, none of that works, and there's not a reputable historian who believes that that's the case.
So, Professor, why do you think that this matters? So for most Americans, they think, okay, well, I learned history back in school, and some of my kids learn a little bit of bad history, and then they listen to shows like this one, and then they hear the counter history. Why does it matter what kind of history people learn? Why is it that there's been this push from the left to take over American history in this way?
Because for Americans, history is what identifies us. Then we don't identify ourselves as a people on the basis of blood or soil or ethnicity or language.
So you don't want this to be changed, corrected, because you don't want to be identified as an animal?
Okay, now so you shouldn't have wrote it that way, but let's listen to the rest of what he's saying. Mm-hmm. He's about to tell him himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when he said it, Shapiro got a little quiet because he didn't say nothing. It's like, dude, you're telling.
Or religion, we identify ourselves around a proposition. This is what Lincoln said at Gettysburg. We're conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. That's what makes us Americans. And the thing which teaches us that is our history. Take our history, turn it upside down, and empty it, and we lose any sense of what we have as an American identity. In fact, in the larger sense, the great Russian dissident, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, said, the first step that a tyrant takes when a tyrant wants to completely enslave people is to take away their history. Because if you take away people's past, they have nothing to compare the present to. So take it.
And he fucked the Indians up, and he fucked blacks up.
We have nothing
Took the language.
Yep.
Didn't write none of their people in, and here I ass sit.
Yep.
And he's scared if some other stuff go in there, and they start telling the truth, they ain't gonna be paying no attention to the damn lies we told, and they gonna be trying to relearn about themselves, and that's all they gonna want to teach about themselves. Teach about themselves. We don't want to teach about themselves. They don't even mention us no more. That's exactly what the fuck y'all did over here. So that right there, that's a mute argument. That's like y'all got us and talking about how America is. You know, we're on these values and all that. That's like a walking contradiction.
Yeah,
Right?
you could say that.
Y'all ain't made, and you got it in the books that black people are 3/5 of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
All men are created equal.
Yeah.
What you
3/5 of a human
said,
being.
what you meant, even y'all, the white women had through that suffrage movement and all that shit, they was fighting for their rights. You said all men, all white men, are created equal, and it's something. It was something somewhere else a long time ago. I heard. I think it was in the laws or something. There was no laws in the books that that a white man had. It was no laws that a white man had to. What would you say? Abide by. I say it's like abide by when it concerned black people. Something like that. I'll have to look that one up again so I can state it more plainly. But they were like, it ain't a right a damn white man, a black man got that a white man is bound to uphold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that motherfucker ain't got no rights I gotta worry about. None that I have to worry about because I'm king shit. The man, D1.
Mm-hmm.
So you can give them, but ain't nothing that I got to worry about. Not when it comes to my shit, because my rights and my liberty is way above his and theirs, and anything, and his women and his kids too. But I tell you what, that's males for you.
Yeah,
White
males.
and some they got
Yeah,
some
because
black
they're
men,
inferior.
They got some black males acting the same way with that
Well,
stupid
they do.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you taught them how to do that shit. So let's see what else let's finish the rest of this to see what else he's saying. But in a nutshell, that's what he's damn saying. You finna upend what we done wrote down and start. Now y'all done figured out the truth and stuff. That's why we was keeping y'all dumb and wasn't letting y'all read and write. Y'all could have figured out our game. Hell, we go and talk to the Indians. They didn't know what the hell we were saying, and we were saying we about to take all y'all shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that white man from Louisiana told Enrique. When he said Enrique said he told him, why don't you just sell the land if you need to take care of your mother-in-law, sell that house and sell that land, and then y'all have enough money to take care of it. He was like, oh no, we can't do that. We had to kill. You know how many Indians we had to kill to get this land? We're not getting rid of that.
Wow.
And he told him that. Enrique told me that about 4 years ago. They still talking that shit. It's in them. They know what they did. They can miss me with that shit. They know exactly what they did, exactly what they're doing, and they want to continue.
That's yes.
They want to continue.
That's
and
my
everybody
thing,
else talking about, no, we need to go. And they were like, no, hold y'all ass right here.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those premises, Lincoln's and Solzhenitsyn's, holding on to our history, keeping our history right and straight and accurate,
Right and straight.
that is a work of momentous consequences for Americans.
White people. Wait,
So, moving
Yeah,
forward,
because
do you
we're
think
not
we're gonna
considered
see
Americans.
That's
more
what he
of this
said.
engage-
That for Americans. And then in his mind he's saying white people.
Yep.
That's what they're talking about.
Yes, they're talking about whites.
in public schools, and how should public school administrators look to sort of protect against this sort of stuff? It's pretty obvious the Pulitzer Prize Committee is attempting to really just shoehorn this into schools. That is the goal here, is to backfill the fact that the 1619 project is filled with holes and rooted in nonsense, and then just sort of give it the gloss, the patina of accuracy, and then throw it into public schools.
You can't tell me that, ain't
Well, it's already in the school curriculums of 3,500 schools across the United States. In fact, your listeners really ought to ask their own school districts, are you using the 1619 project? And I think a rather large percentage of them would be surprised to find that's the case. There are entire school districts, Buffalo, for instance, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Detroit, which have adopted the 1619 project and at various degrees have mandated its use. So, in a sense, this is already happening. And people need to look carefully at what is going on all around them with the education of their children, because it's already there.
Because you don't want them to know the truth.
Because what could happen, and this is white folks' paranoia that I'm going to talk about now. And just this is what he said. You need to look and see what's going on in your schools and all this, because we know what could happen. We took all them Indian kids, put them in our school.
Mm-hmm. Shave, cut their hair.
And shave and cut their hair.
Yep.
And when they did get out of our schools, they didn't know whether their ass was coming or going.
They didn't know who they were.
And then they didn't know who they were no more. Mm-hmm. And they said it. Kill the if you can't kill all these Indians, then kill the Indian in the child.
That's
so they started with the kids.
Yeah.
They spent more time with them white people in there beating and raping us, doing all that.
because they weren't allowed to be Indians anymore.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They owe us, and we deserve all of our stuff back. Black people and Indians, and they need to not be able to have the things that they have because they need to give it up.
And that's what they worried about.
I know.
They know. You know the Indians were here first.
Yeah.
You know they was here first, and you know they did not give you shit. You didn't even write that shit down right. As much as I learned in history, and I loved history.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I don't know.
In school, I loved learning about history. But it was all lies. The best y'all. I mean, they teach you about Squanto, and he's gonna be in there for a little bit. And what's the other? What's that? You always Pocahontas.
Mm-hmm.
They kidnapped both of them. But the real stuff that they was doing to them, they didn't really keep that shit on the books.
No.
All it was bring them over here.
Well, you know, if they were
bring them over here, we're gonna talk to them, and then just.
You know what them white men were doing with the Indian women? The same thing they were doing with black women. White men were the same thing that they were doing with the African men. And the same thing they were doing with the Indian men. We are inferior. We must, we have to touch their privates. We have to show them we are men. And they're still the same way. They're still doing the same shit. And the only way you can do it is to lie.
And say you didn't do it. That ain't how it was.
You know what? But think about how they lied.
That ain't how that was. They gave that to us. We got them papers right here. They say, look, see it right there? He marked the X on that. Yeah, he marked the X on it, but you know they couldn't speak your damn language. They didn't read what the hell. They couldn't read what the hell you was telling them. That we finna take all this shit. You know what? If
they threatened to kill my family, I'd mark an X on something too.
Sweetie. When I'm saying when they was writing those treaties.
I know what the hell you're saying.
They have so many broken treaties.
And why is that? What were they doing to make people...
They didn't give a damn about them.
Okay, so why? So if they'll lie about it now, what do you think they were doing about it then?
Shit. They lucky they got to put an X on.
That's exactly why I don't give two shits about some fucking Thanksgiving. What, we're celebrating a massacre?
Anymore.
Oh, since I've been a grown-up.
Anymore. We used to celebrate the shit out of Thanksgiving.
We can find another reason to eat. We don't even have to have a reason to eat and celebrate. But that's just not one of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of them probably done heard that. And if you haven't heard what Thanksgiving was for, is like they used to, every time they slaughtered
a village
of Indians, they would have a big meal and they would call it Thanksgiving. But they got to doing it so much, they were like, look, dude, this is working the shit out of us.
Yes,
you know what? Keep your tallies all year. Just keep your tallies in. Just keep your tallies. Send them in at the end of the year, folks. Come in around November. You got 10, you done killed with 1,000 more in them, just send them on in. We all gonna celebrate on the same day. And on that day, y'all, keep y'all a couple of the Indians that you just killed for Thanksgiving, chop their head off and kick it around and stuff like that. They would put at football.
Yeah.
So everybody would do it on that day around the whole United States, no matter where the hell they was at. The Indian that they done killed, you just making up a tally, and everybody decided, what is it, the third or the fourth Thursday?
The third Thursday of the month.
The third Thursday of November, you can get to kill all year. And that's like include the very next day. If you the very next day, y'all can start over again.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, if the technology that they have now, if they had that back then, like with all these camera phones and all that shit, people would be shook to their core for the shit that was going on
please,
back
we'd be
then.
throwing up. Don't nobody want to see them
you talking
doing
about
the shit that
you
they
talking
did.
about a horror movie, and that's what
they're afraid of. Don't let our kids know that we did that.
Tell y'all something. Don't fool yourself. Go on ahead and straighten your shit out. Pump your nuts up in your chest out and admit it. Hell is here on earth. That's where it's at.
Yep.
It ain't it is some boogeymen out here. They the boogeymen. Booger men. They're boogers. Shit. Yeah, that's why you kids scared of some of them. Just scared of some people by sight. They can see they nasty asses. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this. I know we stepping off board a little bit. A lot of them motherfuckers ain't left this plane, this reality. They just keep on coming back.
Yep.
They don't know how to get home. They lost.
Well, that's a whole nother
That's a
topic.
whole other story. But just
truth.
throwing that in there. Think about that. And the thing is, when they die, they lost. They don't even and looking for forgiveness and can't forgive themselves.
Nope, and that's why they're still here, because they can't forgive themselves.
So negative, it don't matter if you get old, you want to apologize to somebody, you on your deathbed, they on their deathbed. I just want to, like when white people would wait until they death to release their slaves. They leave, them damn white people leave something. I want to release all my slaves upon my death. And they kids be like, is you crazy? Who gonna feed me? Man, ain't Nanny, and whoever them, they ain't going nowhere. They go to the courthouse, get that shit annulled. Them black people like, God damn. Got us again. Leave. How the hell you gonna? What in your right mind would make you think it's okay to leave another human being to another human being?
Yep.
Y'all motherfuckers done went crazy.
Yep.
And I guess that's what they call original sin, but that's the original stupidest shit I ever seen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm ready to fight for it.
And then don't want to take that shit off the books, where it's legal to have you doing slave work if you don't committed a felony.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that was easy. So right after, I think that'll be our next one, because I love that shit. I love that, and we're gonna talk about the 13th Amendment and stuff like that on the next one. I love that shit. They think we're stupid, and the reason they think they wanted to keep us stupid, this is why. Because if you could read back in the days, if you could read, and you could understand what they was talking about, they was planning your demise right in your face. Drinking and grinning with you. If the Indians knew that's what was gonna happen, guess what? This shit would have been different, and them white people knew that. They ain't just gonna let us come over there. And, they nice and shit, but if they knew what we was planning,
yeah, no.
all these motherfuckers would circle around us and have us fucked up. They'd be rocking us from the shores. We couldn't get a boat up in here Edgeway if they could just feel what we was gonna do. They nice and sweet as
But
pie.
you know what? They're still just as nasty as fucking days long.
But now
they're still just as nasty as they can be. And that's why they're still doing what they're doing.
And got gunpowder and bullets and nukes and all this shit. And they just love that war. They spend more money on war and all that shit and trying to just get shit
They love
right.
to kill. They love to kill people.
Trying to leave the planet.
They love to get. I wish they just go to hell on. Bye. Go to Mars.
I'll tell y'all something. There's some Martians over there, but they'll never let them hunkies see them. Them like, oh no. We watch what y'all did to them damn Indians down there. Them motherfuckers blending in, they look like rocks. Ain't no water here, look. Ain't no water over in this motherfucker. Ain't sandy beaches, no nothing. We ain't even got no moons over in this bitch. It's cold as fuck. They just turned up the turn the thermostat down. It's freezing over in this bitch. Like, shit, I air is bad up in this bitch. Bad. Y'all might well turn around and go back home.
You stupid. Be quiet.
Yeah. They know what that little rover is and shit like that.
That's too funny.
They were like, damn,
Here they come. Nope.
Here they come. I told you, man. I told you they was coming. I told you they coming. They sending shit out from over here, looking over here. They're like, we ain't got no oil, we ain't got no jewels, we ain't got shit over here. Nothing grows green. Like, man, they see all these rocks we showing them, they still looking. Don't fight back. Don't fight back. They'll probably nuke this motherfucker. Don't do this.
No,
Mars.
they ain't.
Coming over here with that shit?
Nope.
They hide. What's them things where the little they blend in with everything, the little furry animals. What's that? It's a cartoon. And they blend in with everything. You can't see them for nothing. That's what's over yonder. That's what's on Mars.
You're silly.
They just don't want, they were like, y'all gotta, before y'all come here, y'all gotta fix that shit down. Don't drag that nasty energy over here.
Mm-hmm.
Come down and have us messed up like y'all.
Yep.
And God said, you ain't finding nothing else. Nothing else nowhere. You can look at the stars, the Milky Way, and the galaxies and do all that shit. And you can even get to come out there. But you ain't finding nothing. And until you straighten that out over there.
Yeah.
They think it's like they done zapped everything. Oh shit, in a little while ain't gonna be no more resources on there. We done sucked it all up and monetized everything. Guess we go over yonder. Maybe we can bring some of that money to Mars.
They can go ahead.
Their minds are screwed up.
They can go ahead and go. They can go ahead. We'll
I
stay
wish
right here.
I wish they'd all pack up now. After Elon Musk. Man, take a bunch of these motherfuckers with you. We don't give a damn.
We can stay right here.
Yeah. And take that shit. Take your money. Just get the hell out from over here. Take all that Congress and all that shit. We'll work it out down here. Just get the fuck on over yonder. I'm sorry, Mars. I'm telling on y'all. They over there. Trust me. It's an invisible shield they got. I'll show you how to ground that shit out.
Okay, done with you.
I'm sorry.
Done with you.
I'm sorry.
It's been real, guys.
Yeah.
The sweeties enjoyed having this conversation with you. You know I love you. I love you. Enough to tell you the motherfucking truth.